Cheers, my loves. I hope that all of you are doing really well. And going back to a few things I want to mention for the mental and emotional diet, my arm is doing better. Thank you very much for asking. So, one of the things that I want to mention is there's a lot of people who don't know where to start getting enthusiasm, where to start wanting to pursue something in life, wanting to want something, wanting to desire something. I think so often it comes from learned helplessness, when every time that you try to show your light, somebody was drawn into counterweight with darkness, and you focused a lot on the darkness. And now every time you try to shine your light, somebody comes in with the darkness, and you've learned to not even be bothered. I think it's so important to understand the eternal nature of you, because what we're always looking at is the content of our own mind, but we're not always looking at the present content of our own mind. We're born into circumstances that resonated with the past content of our mind, and we aren't just transmitters. We're also receivers. The world that we live in is a co-creation, and it's true that you can send out a certain signal strongly enough that if the environment in which you find yourself doesn't resonate with you, you will get expelled from that environment and find yourself surrounded by different people, by a different location. It takes time. It's not immediate. And during that period of time, depending on how quickly things come into reality in your world, you will be tested. It will be a bit of a 2 steps forward, 1 step back. You will have a lot of doubts. You will wonder if anything is working. But the one thing you should always focus on is what talents you want to have, because you do develop them through a combination of skill and the belief that you are good at something. So do create a bit of an echo chamber around yourself of people who tell you that you're good at something that you really enjoy doing, and the things that give you enthusiasm and pleasure, even in the moment, even if later it gets counterweight by some negativity or some darkness that came in. Because what you're building up is your ability to enjoy something. And that is so valuable to have that in your life. This ability to be swept off your feet in the moment, to forget the past, the future, the worries, the negativity, and just in the moment to connect with joy, to connect with flow. And when you take a skill that you think you could potentially enjoy doing, even if you're not as good at it at the beginning, but you practice it over and over and over again, and you surround yourself with an echo chamber of people who tell you that you're really good at it, and you're not trying to make a living off of it, or at least a great deal of money, so you're not immediately setting yourself up for, am I good at marketing? Is my skill being in demand all the time? But you're just working on that. You're just developing that. I really would like you to understand how powerful that is. And this is something that you take with you into your future incarnations, not just into this life. And this is something that will allow you always to connect to your deepest essence, to connect to yourself in the present moment. It's not about you painting and thinking, my paintings are going to make me rich. It's not about you dancing and thinking that you will be the best ballerina in the world and everyone will give you lots of validation. It's about you getting lost in the joy of the picture appearing in front of you, the creativity that you could use, the music that you're hearing, the dreams that it is inducing, the state that it is creating within you. I think that as we go through more and more incarnations, or we practice meditation a lot, we connect to our center a lot, what starts happening to people is that they start developing extra senses, if you wish. You may start off with being able to see more than other people see. You may start off with being able to hear more, with a sense of knowing, with emotions that go beyond what a normal range of emotions would allow you. And I think that allows you to realize that when you connect to that state of present moment joy, and when you recognize the beauty of something, the love within something, whether it's a landscape, whether it's music, whether it's a piece of art or furniture or a person, when you just connect to that state, it feels it. It responds to you. It doesn't matter if it's an object. It doesn't matter if it's a concept. It doesn't matter if it's a country. But when you bathe it in love and gratitude and recognition, it resonates and it responds to you and it gives that back to you. It feels, if you could call it that, appreciated and seen and validated. And when you take some kind of a skill and you say, it doesn't matter to me if I get material compensation or if this is my way to validation from external sources, I just love it so much that I want to learn how to play the piano. I want to learn how to be an amazing skateboarder. I want to take all the photography classes that I can. Essentially, what you're doing is you're taking something neutral. You're not taking a person whom can have their moods, who can have their own karma that you may not necessarily want to get involved with. You're taking something neutral and you're saying, I'm going to show you so much appreciation and so much joy and so much love and so much focus, because I think you're one of the best things to enjoy in this world. And trust me, you will see the compensation for that. It will be returned to you. I've lived in a number of countries and it's always been the pattern with me. I notice this in countries more than people, by the way, that the more I love about the country, the more opportunities it gives me. It's not the more prosperous it is, it's not something 3D, it's not something physical, but the more I love it, the more opportunities it gives me. And my greater self, if you wish, myself and the people who are in my energy field as well. With people, it's a little bit more difficult again because we're not just transmitters. It's important to not forget that this isn't solipsism. This isn't just a creation. This is a co-creation. So we're receivers as well. So if previously we've already allowed somebody into our energy field, or we volunteered in tribute, and we can't now separate from somebody who's at a lower vibration, who is dependent on us, you will be receiving some of that, of course, but remember that the higher vibrations, they dominate the lower ones, and you choose your timeline based on the state that you reside in, based on the identity that you have. Your mind, in a way, doesn't perceive time. It can perceive your identity, but it can't perceive time. So if you want to alter time to show you a picture that you would rather be looking at, it is much easier to start off doing that. I had a question in that regard. That's why I'm going into this. It is much easier to start off by doing that from the point of view of your identity, because to your brain, time is an abstract. Time isn't real. But your identity is something much more solid for it to grab onto. That's why so many people would prefer to see themselves at galas and ballroom gowns, covered in luxury, surrounded by luxury, by famous people. Their brain can much more easily interpret that as abundance than just a quantity of money. It can interpret a quantity of money as abundance, but you really have to go into, and now I have freedom, and now I can do this, and now I can go there. And for many people, it's just too abstract. So in that regard, it's the same thing. And if you find yourself in that state of apathy, of not knowing where to begin, choose something neutral that you can start developing, that you can be grateful for. Don't make it a person at the beginning if you're really in a lower state of mind, because a person is too volatile. You can make it an object, you can make it a dream, like I really want that dress or I really want that cake, but the gratification from that is much more short-lived and potentially more expensive. Even if it comes to you as a gift or something in like that, the most neutral thing that you can choose is a hobby or a talent that you want to develop. Again, photography, piano playing, hiking, sailing. It's so rich, this world. There's so many things to choose from. And if you start giving it joy, gratitude, presence in the moment, it vibrates to that. It responds to that. You, in that moment, become presence and gratitude. It's one of the best ways to escape a place in your life where you feel stuck. All right, cheers, my loves. I wish you all a beautiful day. Ciao.
quem um dia só me fez chorar. Chorando se foi quem um dia só me fez chorar. Chorando estará ao lembrar de um amor que um dia não soube cuidar. Chorando estará ao lembrar de um amor que um dia não soube cuidar. A recordação vai estar com ele aonde for. A recordação vai estar pra sempre aonde eu for. Dança, sol e mar, guardarei no olhar. O amor faz perder, encontrar. Lambando estarei ao lembrar desse amor. Por um dia, um instante foi rei.